The vocal mods, 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 the vocal mods. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Bees, and could you believe it? We are almost at the end of the road in my Taylor Swift journey. The whole point of this series, and if you're unfamiliar, this series is about seeing the evolution of the world's biggest pop star through the eyes of a straight white male.
I don't know any straight white males who listen to Taylor Swift.
Excuse me? Actually? And what have we discovered? What evolution can we comment on? Well, I can just go over the last two albums that we reacted to, that I reacted to. You already know about it, but I reacted to Folklore and Evermore. And I gotta say, I haven't been a Taylor Swift fan since 2006. Sure, I've heard the music in stores. Sure, I knew people that loved Taylor Swift and all this and all the other stuff, but actually sitting down and taking in everything that she's had to say throughout the course of her discography, Folklore and Evermore made me really happy, because it's not to say that the work that she had done before that wasn't mature or thought out or well produced, but it was all of that with subtlety and nuance. And not to add that those were, maybe softball concept albums, right? Where there were loose narratives that you could see through song to song. And if you've watched my Folklore video, maybe I made too many connections. That was often a critique of those videos from me. But I think that was something to say about Taylor's work, that there was enough there to where you could try to connect the dots on your own. And that's fun. It tickles my brain. And Evermore just pushed the envelope with that a little bit more. But we're kind of out of the woods, so to speak, now, because we don't have a sister album kind of series to talk about here with two double albums. We are here today with Midnight's Till Dawn Edition. Now, why the Till Dawn Edition? If you're new here, if there has been a Taylor's version or a deluxe version or a version with more songs, that's what I'm going to be reacting to. No other artist gets this treatment. Only for Tay. Only for Tay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, through all the albums that I've been reacting to, even though there have been some bigger ones there with tons of songs on them, 20 plus songs or whatever the hell it's been, right? There have been songs that I've missed. So if there is a song that I've missed so far that I haven't reacted to yet, or a live performance that you want me to see, or maybe just a Taylor Swift clip or something, I don't know. There's a Google form down in the description, and make it good because you only get one, but go ahead and send me your recommendation. So when we are done with Tortured Poets Department, we'll have a couple streams where I kind of get to catch up on all the Taylor Swift that I've missed along the way. And make sure you either catch us live by clicking one of the links down in the description, or check out my Patreon, because if those clips of me reacting to those Taylor Swift videos go up on YouTube, it's going to be a while before they do, if at all. So make sure you fill out that Google form and make sure that you're here live to see it. But before we get into it, please do like the video, as that is the easiest way to support the channel. And subscribe so you don't miss any of my other Taylor Swift reactions. And please do let me know your thoughts on my thoughts as we go along through the album in the comment section. And please let me know what other albums from whatever artist you want me to react to. And one more slight note, just keep in mind that my reactions and my commentary are inherently biased, as pretty much every piece of reaction content on YouTube is. But other times, it might be a little bit of a struggle to determine just how biased a piece of media can be, especially politically, and not to mention in today's day of echo chambers and misinformation. And that's why I use today's sponsor, Ground News. As this channel's first sponsor, I wanted to promote a product that I truly believed in and would actually benefit my audience. And Ground News does just that by combining news sources from around the world in one place so you can compare them for yourself. For every news source, you can see if they have a political bias, how reliable their reporting is, and probably most importantly, who owns them. Their blind spot feature is probably my favorite aspect of Ground News, as it highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I just took this sponsorship just to take it. I have a bit of a dog in this fight, as you may not know, and you probably don't know. I went to journalism school and have a degree in journalism, and I worked in journalism. Curtailing news bias and encouraging media literacy was really at the forefront of a lot of the conversations we had when I worked as a reporter. So I find that Ground News is the perfect tool to get you thinking freely about the news coverage that inundates our timelines. Go to check.ground.news/JerryBees to get 40% off the Vantage subscription, which unlocks unlimited article access, ownership data, and factuality ratings. Ladies and gentlemen, this would be a bargain at double the price. And remember that your subscription to Ground News doesn't only help my channel, but it also helps Ground News. It helps Ground News as they make the media landscape more transparent and keep you more well-informed about the world around you. Again, that's check.ground.news/JerryBees to get 40% off the Vantage subscription for Ground News. Now back to the video. So here it is, Midnight's the Till Dawn edition. Now, I'm going to break a little bit of tradition here because we will be reacting to You're Losing Me at the end of the stream because apparently my little man brain just won't be able to connect the dots between this and Tortured Poets Department or just this and the entire album. So I just need to listen to it. So usually if it's not on the album, I'm not reacting to it, but today we will because you guys have told me I needed to do it, and we're already doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. So what's one more song to it, I guess? But I'm not doing it for Tortured Poets Department, okay? I'm not doing it. Whatever's on the deluxe 2 album, 2 hours worth of music from Taylor Swift, that's all we're listening to that day. But today, I'll give you guys one. You guys get one. You guys get one. So I don't know. This isn't like, to me, this doesn't scream cottagecore. This doesn't scream getting lost in the woods in December or something like that. I don't know what to expect now. I've kind of had a decent idea of what to expect, even if I said I don't know what to expect. I genuinely don't know. I've heard Karma before. I have heard Karma. I haven't heard any other song on this album. So I know Antihero is a big one. Let's get into it. First song, Lavender Haze.
Meet me at midnight. My melancholia. I've been under scrutiny. Yeah, oh yeah. You handle it beautifully. Yeah, oh yeah. All this shit is new to me. Yeah, oh yeah.
Lavender Haze opening up the album, and I don't know what I think I do know what it is though. I'm getting like cool girl vibes from her, like a confident cool girl, you know, because I don't think, I mean, Taylor's definitely gone on about maybe her insecurities about some things in the past, but there is this air of optimism at the end of the day with her music, I feel. Whether that's optimism, you know, in terms of, you know, you got people to back you up, or optimism just in the sense that it's going to get better. But here it's like, it's cool confidence. You know, it's like that 1950s shit they want from me. What I'm thinking, it's like maybe a woman staying in her place, right? That's like a very common theme where she's trying to push that against, you know, she's trying to push against that. And as far as maybe a woman's place with a man, right? The only girl they see is a one-night stand or a wife. You got to be one or the other. That's what people say, right? And she's like, no, I'm a fucking Taylor. What the fuck are you talking about? But it's like cool because it's like, I'm just so glad she went pop again. I really missed more poppier Taylor. I really have. Now, this isn't as maybe jumpy or just, you know, momentous as maybe some of the things that we've heard on 1989, for example, or even Reputation. You know, you could even make the argument that Reputation was like cool girl Taylor, but you know, I think as much as I loved Reputation, you could make the argument that maybe she was kind of reaching for things there, whereas here she's just owning this like little pocket here. Now, there is this conspiracy that I hate Jack Antonoff, and that is not true. I just don't think Jack Antonoff is a god king. But here, everything works. Every little thing about this worked. Now, I know way long ago, I had asked about, Taylor's substance use. She's made references to drinking and all that. And I had heard that she smokes. And whether or not, I'll ask the chat, but whether or not that's the case, I'm going to assume that she's just high here. Weed lore? Yes, weed lore. Yes, it's weed? It's weed? It's weed? Probably, yeah. Do one of these. Lavender Haze basically means love bubble. Yeah, because, she's making these, she's in the bed with them and all this other shit's going on, and she's just with her guy. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. This is the type of the album to get high to. Just judge it. You can't judge a book by its cover, but I'm going to do it all the goddamn time if I want to. And that's kind of, I think now that I have heard this song and I see the album cover and I've heard the song Karma, I'm trying to fill in the dots sonically, trying to connect the dots, fill in the blanks sonically here. Yeah, this might be the Stoner album, but we'll keep it going here, folks. We're going to keep it going. Maroon.
Cleaning incense off your vinyl shelf, 'cause we lost track of time again. Laughing with my feet in your lap, like you were my closest friend. And I chose you, the one I was dancing with in New York. No shoes, the dark. The sky and it was the burgundy on my t-shirt when you the burgundy on my t-shirt when you splashed your wine into me, and how the blood rushed into my cheeks so scarlet. It was maroon. I saw on my collarbone the rust that grew between telephones, the lips I used to call home so scarlet. It was
So that was Maroon, and and this is me, folks, right? I'm reacting to this shit. I could be wrong, but this is just top of mind BS that I'm going to be spewing here. It's almost like, in a way, it's a callback to Red, just in the sense that we're calling out all these. It's like Red with 50 Shades of Grey. It's the 50 Shades of Grey in Red. It's those things that can't be defined just by one color. The blood rushed, the wine, the burgundy on the t-shirts. So Scarlet, it was Maroon. And then we get into Rust, these things that are pretty much defined by what they are. So like Rust has a very defined color, like wine does as well. And that all kind of around, like, it's starting out like a good, like, oh, we're just chilling. I got my feet in your lap. And then it gets a little bit more shaky as it goes along. And, whether or not we do the whole maternity test of Taylor Swift songs, is she still seeing Joe here, right? Seeing Joe, but about Marty. Okay, well, hello, Marty. So it's able to take me through with the lyrics because, I think, and maybe I'll eat my own words, I don't do it as much on the channel as I used to, but I still do it from time to time. This might just be all one big vibe here. The music's fine, right? Again, if you're lighting up with this is perfect. This is perfect. But one of the best things about Folklore and Evermore was like the songwriting was just fucking on it pretty much all of the time. And that's the kind of the same deal here where I can see what you... Taylor Swift, color scientist, color theorist. And, maybe some of my critiques have been like, yeah, it's a fine song, but I just can't relate to it a ton. This song I can relate to a lot. We're cleaning off the incense off your vinyl shelf because we've lost track of time again. I have a vinyl shelf and I use incense all the time, and I just let that shit cake up most of the time. She wrote this about Jerry B's. Oh, come on. Stop that. Taylor Swift doesn't know who I am. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Having fun, moving along. Let's keep the train rolling. Anti-Hero. So one of the bigger ones on the album. I don't know if I've heard this yet.
I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons. And for the last time, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill.
Huh?
Too big to hang out, slowly lurching toward your favorite city. Pierce through the heart, but never kill. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Times, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero.
So that was Anti-Hero, and sonically, I was just driving around the other day, listening to a couple songs off of 1989, just thinking about 1989, knowing I was going to be doing this tonight. Like, damn, like, does she ever get back to that sound? And I called upon it earlier tonight, right? Just a couple songs ago. As far as like that pop sound. I don't know if this was left over from 1989 or whatever happened just as far as maybe like the instrumentals themselves, but this fits right in there, and it's like 1989 plus Folklore and Evermore, in the sense that there is this like other air of like maturity there. There is this strong sense of confidence now, where we've seen Taylor maybe talk about her insecurities before, or like put fault on her maybe in a more self-deprecating way. That's kind of what's happening here. And then maybe her strongest critics can roll their eyes like, oh my God, you're a billionaire pop star. Me, always me. Right? Smallest violin or something. But she's like one step ahead. Because in this line, pierce through the heart but never killed, did you hear my covert narcissism I disguise as altruism, like some kind of congressman? So it's almost like if you want to go that route and say like, okay, yeah, like whatever, she's kind of calling it out like, if it's not me, it's a fucking congressman, The one thing, it's a midnight sound for me, not 1989. It is different, but it just calls me back to that, just because like that's kind of the last time it sounded like that for me. I think now, in full candor, this is just about the most ridiculous fucking sentence I've ever read. Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill. Maybe that has some more poetic, serious implications there. And if it does, then pardon my laughing. But music gives you whatever it gives you, not anybody else. And to me, that gave me a funny moment, and I like funny moments. Oh my God, I didn't read the prologue. This is the only time I didn't read the prologue. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I just didn't read the prologue. I completely forgot to read the prologue. Here's what we're going to do. I'll be right back. Okay, so I read the prologue, the liner notes for Midnights that I didn't do at the top, so I just did it right there, and I read it kind of quick. So, but it's written very poetically, maybe a little bit more poetically than she's ever written a prologue or a foreword or whatever the hell that she's called these things. But it says the liner here and opens it up with "What keeps you up at night?" And hey, I can relate to that. I got insomnia induced by anxiety, right? I've had that my whole goddamn life. Walking around at like 2 a.m. is like a little 4-year-old pitter-pattering along my parents' floor. Just looking, I'm like, why the fuck aren't you guys awake? So, sometimes you're just kind of stewing in like, it's what she kind of goes on to say, like, you're just like stewing in like self-doubt or like why don't I talk to this person anymore? Or why did I do that to that person? Like, that was kind of fucked up. Then other times you're like kind of partying and it's like jovial and shit. And so there's something to be said there about that dichotomy. And she goes on to say, this is a collection of music written in the middle of the night, a journey through terrors and sweet dreams. That's about it. Overthinking late at night is one of the worst forms of torture. You got that right. Snow on the Beach featuring Lana Del Rey. We're doing that next week. Make sure you show up. Make sure you watch on YouTube.
One night, a few moons ago, I saw flecks of what could have been lights, but and it's like snow at the beach, weird but fucking beautiful, flying in a dream, stars by the pocketful. You wanting me tonight feels impossible, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around, blurring out my periphery. My smile is like I won a contest, and to hide that would be so dishonest. And it's fine to fake it till you make it, till you do. Are we falling like snow at the beach? Weird but fucking beautiful, flying in a dream, stars by the pocketful. You wanting me to.
All right. Snow on the Beach with Ms. Del Rey. Right? I will say the outro was really nice. And just to confirm, Aaron Dessner is not involved on this. Is this all Jack here? No Aaron here. Aaron is on the 3 a.m. tracks. Okay. Cause I this is like the same way I felt, if it's just like a Jack Antonoff kind of pillar of music, which, at least the standard release of this album was, if it's just all him and Aaron, who did such good work. And those are some of my favorite songs on Folklore and Evermore. Knowing that this is just Jack here, I like this little pocket he's got me in. It's obviously for a different artist, but like when we reacted to Melodrama by Lorde, worked for that artist, and it was a pretty cohesive sounding album. So far, everything's kind of staying in its lane, and they're obviously making this lane for themselves. And I do like this concept of Snow on the Beach, and they call it out pretty plainly here, though. Weird but fucking beautiful. I'm unglued thanks to you. It's like weird. It's like snow at the beach. Weird but fucking beautiful. And like the rest of the song, in conjunction with the music, it's kind of dreamy, right? And then so that can kind of go on with the concept of it being 12 a.m. at night. We're not necessarily, maybe you are awake, but, maybe you are getting tired, and then your mind can't really connect the dots as much. The song feels like ethereal, but the lyrics are really simple, and I kind of love it. Yeah, there wasn't like a ton to sink your teeth into here, but it works with everything that the album has established so far, and with the liner notes that I just read. The Lana, I just caught it in the back. There wasn't really a ton to say about that. I heard it. Anything to write home about. It didn't sound bad at all. Yeah, I guess that's it with this one.
Summer
You're on your own, kid.
Still the yearning stays. I play it cool with the best of them. I wait patiently. He's gonna notice me. It's okay, we're the best of friends. Search the party of better bodies just to learn that you never cared. You're on your own, kid. You always have been. I see the great escape. So long, Daisy May. I picked the pen. Kid, you always have been.
Little Jack Antonoff newts in my headphones. Let's go.
And I saw something they can't take over, 'cause there were pages turned with the bridges burned. Everything you do, you always have been.
All right. So I think the production on that one was really good, and there's something about the pacing of this album. It's really moving along quite nicely. And I know this is a little self-inflicted with choosing the longer ones. Fatigue towards the end might catch up with us here, but right now, even though like usually I'll say like, oh, I like it when they change things up and this, that, and the other, and I do, but sometimes that isn't called for everything, right? I don't need 6 different movements in a song or to be bounced off the walls with different genres and different influences coming in through each song on an album. There's something to say about it being consistent. So far, this is really consistent. Really did like the production, especially in that weird little synth pop thing that they were doing in the background there. Thematically with this one, it's almost like it is like juxtaposing, those nostalgic memories from childhood and comparing them to like what you're going through now in adulthood, and looking at those two things like very square in the face. And Taylor Swift is not a stranger at all to nostalgia. Sometimes she, relies on that a lot of times in her songs, not as a crutch, so to speak. There's always a certain point to it, and I think she kind of mentioned that in the liner notes, and that's something that if you have trouble falling asleep at night, that's something I go through. You think about better days, and maybe you get kind of melancholic about like, god damn, like that was like so cool the way that my aunt did that thing for me when I was 4 years old or something like that. This is like a really weird connection for me. Let's see if it's right here.
I wait patiently, he's gonna notice me.
It's not as hard-nosed as some of the other comparisons that I made way back in like the first couple Taylor Swift albums, as far as like, oh, like, this sounds like Third Eye Blind, or, this sounds like, I think it was like ELO or something like that I made a connection to. It kind of sounds like Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, like, na 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 na, right? And the rest of the song is so different, but it's, I can't help but think, as an artist, Taylor can hear something, and maybe not, maybe it's just for me, right? It's probably just for me, but I'd like to think it's like, okay, I like this in one song, and then how can we repurpose that? And artists do that all of the time, and that's what I'm gonna think. That's what I'm gonna think because I like that. What you cooked, Alabama, Arkansas, yeah. Do you guys hear that? I hear it. I mean, she's truly one of one in a lot of different respects, I think. And, that could be something where, it's like, shit, I wish I would have told them, like, hey, take it easier on yourself because, it's just you, you're on your own, kid. You got to save yourself. We will continue on. Midnight Rain.
He wanted it comfortable, I wanted that pain. He wanted a bride, I was making my own name, chasing that fame. He stayed the same, all of me changed like midnight.
My town was a wasteland, full of cages, full of fences, pageant queens and big pretenders. But for some it was paradise.
He wanted it comfortable,
I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
I was making my own name, chasing that fame. He stayed the same, all of me changed like midnight.
It came like a postcard, picture perfect, shiny family, holiday, peppermint candy.
Like midnight.
I guess sometimes we all get just what we wanted, and he never thinks of me.
I need Taylor to go full avant-garde, bespoke, whatever the hell. I get it. Reputation was a huge change, but that was like, here was Taylor, right? She was right over here. You can't see it because the Spotify window's open, but she's over here. And then Reputation, she was like, oh, look at all those people over here. Bap! Right? She's right here. I need her to go like that way and this way all in one song. Cause that's like this one got me like really excited. Like I want her to push some weird shit out because I liked this one a lot just in the sense that I'm like, what the hell am I listening to? Swifties say Taylor should experiment more and then sleep on Closure and It's Nice to Have Friend and Midnight Rain. I'm like, Taylor should experiment more. Give me more Midnight Rain. And this goes back to what I was just saying, right? You know, it can be consistent and it'd be fine, but given enough time on an album, it may start to get old after a while. This doesn't, like, sonically, production wise, it's all kind of the same except the voice there. It's a little thing that kind of turns the dial and gets me amped up and a little bit more animated, obviously. It makes it a more fun listening experience. Because that's what we're in for here on the channel, right? I just want a good listening experience by the end of the day. Give me something that's said as objectively bad. I don't care. As long as I have a good time with it, that's fine by me, right? It's all subjective. It's all biased. Ground news, right? Yeah, and I was kind of lost with some of the lyrics on this one just because I was like, wait, keep going with the vocoder, like whatever weird shit you're doing there. I like this one. I like this one a little bit. Question? I have a question.
Good girl, sad boy, big city, wrong choices. We had one thing going on. Can I ask you a question? Did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room? And every single one of your friends was making fun of you. But did you too? Did you leave a house in the middle of the night? Did you wish you'd put it? Feel like everything's just like second best after that meteor strike. And what's that I heard? But tonight, can I ask you a question? Did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room? When she said it was too much, do you wish you could still touch her? It's just a question.
What the fuck is this album? The hell is this? First and foremost, I do really like the vocal delivery here at the beginning, where it's all just kind of like one long stream of consciousness and she's not really taking any breaths there, as opposed to like this like kind of like staccato-y jumpy thing, and then we get it taken away and it blows up in the ears, and I don't know what the hell that was. Experiment more, Taylor. Get fucking weird. Get weird. Oh my God. Do something crazy. Asher Roth style. If you know, you know. You know, thematically with this one, I'm thinking like I'm just gonna keep defaulting to I don't care who this is about. I'm just solely at that point where I don't give a shit which guy or person that this is about. I do not care at all. But you know, just by default, I'm going back to this idea of being in your room, just like staring at the fucking ceiling or the wall, thinking about everything in your life. So this one, like, kind of, to me, it's like maybe questions you wish you could have asked somebody. You know, like outside of the example of you laying in your bed, it could be something like, you know, maybe you had an argument with somebody and then you're driving home and you're like, fuck, I should have said that to them. That would have made them super pissed off. I would have walked out the champion of the argument or something like that. That's obviously not the tone here, but it's the same kind of idea that I'm kind of looking at. Or like maybe, you know, did you ever have somebody kiss you in a crowded room and every single one of your friends was making fun of you? If you've ever been laying awake at night, you're just like, oh God, that was like so embarrassing. Like, fuck, like I can't believe I did that. Just like self-cringe crap. That's what this is kind of giving me. I can relate to some of this if that's what I think that this is about. Now, everybody knows that I'm the best at listening to music, and I'm never wrong. Never wrong. He's straight, white, and always right. Oh no, please don't start that. I'm already in enough trouble. That wasn't my joke. That was somebody else's joke. Was that Evo? I don't know who did that, but that was funny. No, that was a pivot couch. Yeah. Oh, pivot. I got the reference. You see, I got the reference. Always right.
It's good shit, pal.
Oh yeah, faux shiz.
Draw the cat eyes
Vigilante
sharp enough
shit.
to kill a man. You did some bad things, but I'm the worst of them. Don't get sad, get even. So on the weekends, I don't dress for friends. Lately I've been dressing for revenge. She needed cold hard proof, so I gave her some. Pretty, driving in your Benz. Lately she's been dressing for revenge. She don't start shit, but she can tell you how it ends. Don't get sad, get even. Ladies always rise above. Ladies know what people want. Someone sweet and kind and fun. The ladies simply hide in love. Well, he was doing lines and crossing all of mine. Someone told us what. So on the weekends, I don't dress for friends. Lately I've been dressing for revenge.
I did not think that this was going to be an album where I said it was giving me shades of 1989 and Reputation. So, you know, just because, like, nothing's been, like, so in your face in this one, right? Like the way maybe 1989 Reputation were, you know, they're just kind of like, either jump around and be happy, or, hey, no more Mr. Nice Girl or Mrs. Nice Girl. You know what I mean? Where it's I think it's a revisitation into that vibe and that side of her, which is like crazy because, you know, a lot of people might say like, oh, you know, it's just like, you know, there's like the meme, right? It's like, all Taylor Swift music sounds like this, and it's like Unseasoned Chicken. I'll put the fucking thing in there. And like, you know, there's a certain argument to that, but it's also like, that isn't to say that this person here, Taylor Swift, doesn't have those moments where she wish that she could just act out on all of these like vengeful things, right? And be the judge, jury, and executioner like Judge Dredd, and just pull you by the hair and shows you who's boss or something like that. And certainly the way that this album was going, I did not expect it to like maybe turn like this lyrically, because that's the way it is, right? And it's that hard bass drum that we got going on. Digital guy, Taylor needs a gun. This was a midnight she was plotting for revenge. Yeah, no kidding. This is quite wild. So still in that like it's not, if Reputation was no more Mrs. Nice Girl, because we're here with, it's confident and cool is the vibe I'm getting off of this. So it's not no more Mrs. Nice Girl. It is hello Mrs. Cool. That's what this is. I'm not talking about who I was. I'm not trying to run away from. I'm telling you who I am now. Now, I haven't, you know, I do really like the line, while he was doing lines and crossing all of mine. That's just fun wordplay. That's fun songwriting. I like this one. This one was good. This one was fun. This was fun. We're allowed to have fucking fun. Bejeweled!
Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. Didn't notice you walking all over my peace of mind. And the shoes I gave you as a present, putting someone. Best believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer. And when I meet the band, they ask, do you have a man? I can still say I don't remember. Familiarity breeds contempt, so put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. Diamonds in my eyes. I polish up real nice. They'll make the whole place shimmer. And when I meet the band, they ask, do you have a man? I can still say I don't remember. Sapphire tears on my face, sadness became my whole sky. But some guy said, try to change my mind. Tonight it's late at night. What's a girl gonna do? What's a girl gonna do? I polish at night. Best believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer.
I am so glad it ended on that line. That I don't know what this might be my favorite vocal delivery from Taylor Swift ever.
I can still make the whole place shimmer.
she's just feeling herself on this one, man. And it's almost like she, like, to me at least, I think she's like owning the fact that like people like, Taylor Swift's like annoying and all this shit. She's like, no, I'm gonna talk about how fucking beautiful I am.
I can still make the whole place shimmer.
Like, yeah, I make the whole place shimmer. Like, that's great. That's like really good. And it's not like every song on here. This is kind of like, now I'm kind of getting like whiplash because it's like confident cutesy now instead of like confident cool bad girl thing from the last one. This one's maybe a little bit more cutesy. But it's not in every song, but there's like some times where like there's different vocal delivery going on and it's like kind of like making my day. Jerry has a glitter gel pen voice. Oh yeah. No. I am straight. Criminally so. Flamboyant, but straight. Cutesy, but I'll cut a bitch. Well, what was it on Chapel Roan where I said no more heterosexual sex? I have bi wife energy. No. Labyrinth. David Bowie. Chilly Down with the Fire Gang. You remind me of the babe, not the sexy baby. The babe with the power. Voodoo.
It only hurts this much right now. Was what I was thinking the whole time. It can't last. Oh, I'm falling in love. Oh no, I'm falling in love again. Take your back to make me break a smile. You know how much I hate that everybody just.
I'm falling in love. Oh no, I'm falling in love again. Oh, I'm falling in love. I thought the plane was going down. How'd you turn it on?
So, I liked the second half of this song. Not to say that the song is like bad to any degree, because on the album, it still sounds pretty much like every other song on the album. It feels like it's in its place. There's just something about distorted Taylor Swift voice that gets me going, man. Jim, what do you think about distorted Taylor Swift voice?
It's good shit, pal.
That's what I'm saying. Thematic, this is falling in and out of love. Being worried, like, oh my God, I feel like such shit. How could this have happened to me? And then knowing that there's hope there. So this is like definitely like one of those stare at your ceiling at 3 a.m. songs. That's what this is. There's just this is gonna come off a little harsh. I was very unimpressed with Jack Antonoff in this one. You get the little synth sprites that he loves to do and just that little kick drum, which he loves, but just these like weird little... Where are they? You heard them. I heard them. They're in here. The parts that sound like an elephant. That's not necessarily what I mean with experimenting. I think Jack was looking at this like, what do we do? And he just added some shit in there. Seriously. Like, I'm sorry. I don't dig that part. It's Dumbo. You could have gone harder, to be honest. All I'm like, it was like he was looking at it, it's like, okay, well, we gotta add something to this. And he just it worked for me in that one Lorde song where it was like that was the entire section was just those sounds, and we didn't get those sounds anywhere else on the album. And I was like, cool. But here it was just like, I think one should go there. I think another one should go there. We need Taylor Swift to be produced by Rick Rubin. You know? Little bit of this. Okay. I'll stop torturing you. Dude, she would go crazy. Jared just doesn't get the vision on this one. You know, it's whichever Brendan Urie song that she did on Lover was like the last time I was like, I just don't vibe with that one. Despite no Rick Rubin around, we will continue on here with Karma. Now, Karma is the one song I had heard on this album previously. So I'm pretty sure I've heard this all the way through. Actually, I know I have. Because long before I started this series, if I had a Taylor Swift song in my head that I couldn't get out, and I was like, I'm just going to open up Spotify and play it, it was Karma. It was Karma. I like this song, so it's not going to be so much of a reaction than a review. But we had never listened to it in the context and all of what had come before it. Kamala Harris, Coconuts. R.I.P. So let's tuck into Karma.
You talking shit for the
Kamala Harris.
Addicted to betrayal, but you're relevant. You're terrified to look down. Cause if you dare, you see the glare. Cause karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Sweet like honey. Karma is a cat. Purring in my lap cause it loves me. Flexing like a goddamn acrobat. Me and karma vibe like that. Ask me what I learned from all those years. Ask me what I earned from all those tears. Ask me why so many fade, but I'm still here. Cause karma is the thunder rattling your ground. Karma's on your scent like a bounty hunter. Karma's gonna track you down, step by step from town to town. Karma's a relaxing thought.
Oh, that little flare there at the end. I'm just going to come out and say it, right? This is one of Taylor Swift's best songs. This is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs, hands down. I think it's got one of the best hooks out there in her discography. I think the melodies are catchy as hell. The lyrics, you might say, okay, well, I can't take the song seriously. Sweet like honey, karma is a cat. It could have been anything there, and the point of the song would have kept it through. And she's mad at somebody, you know. Is this like a maybe a jab at being maybe the breadwinner? My pennies made your crown. Scooter and Scott deal here, which, you know, and she is no stranger to calling out anybody who has wronged her and writing a diss track. And they often chart, and this one charted, and you couldn't really escape this one when it came out, and I'm glad I couldn't. This one was, you know, and I think I'd heard, you know, maybe some of the consensus maybe in the general music community, like, you know, Midnight's just didn't really hit for me. And I hadn't listened to it. This is my first time listening to this album, but listening to this song, I was like, I kind of like that song. And I wouldn't go too far out of my way to listen to this, but there were times where I would, like, when this came out and I was driving around, I was like, let me put that on. Obviously not listening to it as intently here. I did not catch the pennies made your crown thing before, so that hits a little bit more now. The context. Kamala Harris. Midnight's is so underappreciated. I'm having fun with it. Like I said, this is actually one of the songs, it kind of steps away from kind of maybe that cool vibey stuff, but not too far. You can listen to the rest of this album and, like, now that I have, and hear this song and go, okay, this is exactly where it needs to be. Now, I do think, and I don't believe I've really called this out before, 10 albums in, right? To call this out as far as, like, there is an inherent flaw in me doing it this way as far as looking at the extended versions, because the way I interact with music, you know, sometimes I'll listen to an extended version if that's the version I have, if it's a physical copy, or if that's just what I'm familiar with the band or whatever the hell, maybe that's the only copy there is on Spotify. There is something to be said about looking at an album from its standard release and not looking at it with everything else. So in a sense, I am putting Taylor Swift kind of on a higher, I'm keeping her to a higher standard, because for me to judge these albums, I'm judging the longer versions of these albums and all of what it entails. Now, it hasn't been to her detriment yet. You know, there's one album left in the Straight White Male Reacts to Taylor Swift series. And, you know, I'll be reacting to her albums as it goes through. But, I mean, what was the standard release of this? Did it end at Sweet Nothing or Mastermind? Like 12 or 13 tracks? So, yeah, you know, knowing that this would be like towards the end of the album, I mean, I think the placement is perfect there. Really, really enjoyed it with pretty much everything it has to offer. Sweet Nothing.
I spy with my little tired eye, tiny as a firefly, a pebble that we picked up last July. Down deep inside your pocket, we almost forgot it. Does it ever miss Wicklow sometime? For me was sweet nothing. On the way home, I wrote a poem. You say, what a mind. This happens all the time. They said the end is coming. Everyone's up to something. I find myself running home to your sweet nothings. Outside they're pushing, shoving. You're in the kitchen humming. All that you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. They said the end is coming. They said the end is coming. The kitchen humming. You're in the kitchen humming. All that you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing.
Well, wasn't that just darling? I liked this one a lot. The vocals were on point. Keys were, it was just the keys and just her vocal layers on top of each other with some very slight horns, just to know that Jack was there, just to know that he was there. I see you, buddy. I see you out there. It's kind of like calling back to maybe like a simpler time, but maybe like knowing that the end of something is inevitable. But then I'm really bummed out that I can't figure this out. Industry disruptors and soul deconstructors and smooth talking hucksters out glad handing each other. The voices that implore you should be doing more to you. And I can admit that I'm just too soft for all of it. The only thing that I can think of is like, maybe people want Taylor to do more things for social causes. Just trying to enjoy these moments of happiness and love and tenderness. I think that's what it is. It's a very tender song juxtaposed with all the maybe responsibilities you have in your professional life, you know, with your persona kind of a deal. It's just all about the expectation that everybody puts on her. I think you're right. It's also just generally more like music and public presence. Okay. All right. Yeah. And you know, like I said, the music does bring like this, you know, tenderness to it all. So I guess I got it. I guess I'm cool. Maybe I should quit overthinking and just enjoy the sweet nothings that I get in my life. All right, Mastermind, the last song on the standard release, but you know what we do here. This ain't the last song. Come on now.
It's the equation of you. Checkmate, I couldn't lose. What if I told you none of it was accidental? And the first night that you saw me, nothing was gonna stop me. I laid the groundwork and then, just like clockwork, the dominoes cascaded in a line. What if I told you I'm a mastermind? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Strategy sets the scene for the tale. I'm the wind in our free-flowing sails, and the liquor in our cocktails. No one wanted to play with me as a little kid, so I've been scheming like a criminal ever since, to make them love me and make it seem effortless. This is the first time I felt the need to confess, and I swear
what would be probably a happy ending to the album. You know we got more. You know how we do things here, right? We got how many other tracks to deal with here? 11 more, right? Just about half over. Just about half over here. So it's kind of like a happy ending because it's like, you know, through the faults, through the anguish that other people and herself, you know, that she puts on herself. That it's like almost like every time she's going to run at love, right? Run at love. Is she really a mastermind if he was on her the whole time? Always got to be scheming for your own happiness, kids. That's what I got to say here. And I know I've been shitting on Jack Antonoff a little bit in this one, but given that this was like the last song of the standard release, on the whole, I thought the production was very strong on this one. Like I said, it's been paced very well so far. Interesting things with the vocals, especially. Gee whiz. You know, there are those moments where we just get the kind of the classic like multi-layered Taylor stuff, but the vocoder in there, I really love seeing that, and I hope that we see more of it. Maybe that's just isolated to a Midnight's thing, but I guess time will tell. Well, now we're on to the 3 a.m. tracks, the additional tracks here on the Till Dawn edition. The Till Dawn tracks are the last 4, and we will get to You're Losing Me. Do not worry. But maybe we'll get to see some Aaron Dessner come back from his genius on Folklore and Evermore. So we'll start it off here. I don't know which one he's done or didn't do, but this is The Great War.
My knuckles were bruised like violets. Sucker punching walls, cursed you as I sleep talked. Over my hand was the one you reached for. All throughout the Great War, always remember, tears on the letter I vowed not to cry anymore. If we survived the Great War, you drew up some good faith treaty. It turned into something bigger. Somewhere in the haze, got a sense I'd been betrayed. Your finger on my hairpin trigger slowed you down on that icy ground. Looked up at me with honor and truth. I will always be yours, 'cause we survived the Great War. I vowed I would always be yours.
So is this another one of those Taylor writes something about a historical event, World War I type stuff? Kind of going back to, I'm bad with these song names, please do forgive me, but like, you know, she's talking about how, you know, she bought the house in Rhode Island and I don't know, other things like it's a metaphor. It's just a metaphor. I was really trying to lean on, like, is this like another Taylor historical thing? But you're right. There aren't any like terribly great details in this. It's just comparing like a relationship to a war. Then headcanon that shit, Mr. B's Last Great American Dynasty. Yes, that was the one. That they think they survived the war, not knowing that there was going to be an even bigger one coming. Okay, so with that, I can get that, right? They call it the Great War because, you know, they didn't know that there was going to be a sequel. So calling it the Great War, knowing that, okay, this is bad, but, you know, we can get some worse shit down the line, that makes some more sense to me. I mean, you could have made a, you know, almost breakup thing. You know, this is Love is a Battlefield, but just Taylor Swift coded. That's not a ton to say there in that respect, I guess. Here's after researching your grandfather's battle history, so could Def be a part of that inspo? Yeah, but usually she puts a little bit more into it as far as like a hard, like, this is what this is referencing. She could have definitely been inspired by that and then, you know, connected the dots on her own there. And, you know, that's fine. We pull inspiration from all types of things. All right, moving on. Bigger Than the Whole Sky. Let's start sitting back.
No words appear before me in the aftermath. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. Some bird flap its wings over in Asia. Did some force take you because I didn't pray? Every single thing to come has turned into ashes. Could have been, would have been you. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you.
That's what I think of that one. I liked that one a lot. I think this is one of her stronger breakup ones here. I gotta pick a fight in the chat. Was it Lore who said that I wasn't gonna get the salt streams out of my eyes and into my ears? I know how gravity works when you cry. All right, I get that.
No, he's just a little himbo. He doesn't know.
Not a breakup? What do you mean? Okay, all right, I am a himbo. Never mind. You are a himbo. Oh, I don't mean to laugh then. That's terrible. This is gonna be awkward to edit. You guys have no idea. I don't know. I just like immediately think of just like a terrible breakup here. Yeah, content. Yeah, exactly. Himbo true. I interpret it as like her loss of innocence. It's about a loss, which is the main point. Yeah, I mean, what thing here? Maybe in the I'm never gonna meet. Right? I've got a lot to live without. I'm never going to meet. It can be about any type of loss. Okay. Well, maybe that says more about me, right? Maybe it says more about me. Well, you know, I think as far as like the I'm never going to meet. Well, no, like, okay. Like, so like, that's the thing with like reactions inherently. I put a lot of stock into my own interpretations of things. I hope that's why you guys come along for this, right? Plus the Taylor Swift thing. I'm not, you know, I understand all that. But, you know, I was talking about it in the Ethel Cain reaction where, it, you know, everybody wanted me to, like, look up Genius. Like, oh, no. But, like, imagine the first time you listen to a song. You're not going to have every single thing that the song is about right in front of you. And I think that's really kind of, like, the worst way to listen to, like, new music if that's what you're going to do. Obviously, if it interests you, if you have questions, go seek it out. And then it's a phenomenal resource. But with the line, you know, I'm never going to meet, you know, I kind of interpreted that as, because when you're with somebody, you meet people and their friends and that kind of thing. So it's like a loss of like new opportunities or something like that. You know, and then when something does go wrong and you lose something, you're like, okay, what did I do? What could I have done? Or was it, you know, like did some bird flap its wings over in Asia, maybe kind of alluding to like the butterfly effect where one thing happens, then another thing happens, then another thing happens. Or was this divine intervention? You were bigger than the whole sky. So you thought the world of something. Yeah. And, you know, I think it's one of those things where obviously this is sad as shit if it's about a miscarriage, but it can be sad as shit if you lost like anything else. You know, if that was her inspiration, obviously that's completely valid. I'm not going to tell her, no, that's not what the song was about. It's not what the song was about. I am a human, not a genius. No, I am a himbo, not a genius.
Oh yeah, faux shiz.
This song was clearly about Jerry losing his 2 last brain cells. Well, there you go. Paris.
Met someone at a club and he kissed her. Turns out it was that guy you hooked up with ages ago. Some wannabe Z-lister. And all the outfits were terrible. 2003 unbearable. Did you see the photos? No, I didn't, but thanks though. In Paris, like we were somewhere else. Like we were in Paris, oh, we were somewhere else. Privacy sign on the door, and I confess my truth in swooping, sloping, cursive letters. Let the only flashing lights be the tower at midnight. In my mind, we drew a map on your bedroom ceiling.
pop love song, I think. Right? And again, I really do like this, you know, we're revisiting her pop sound, but it's a little bit more subdued, but I still like it though. Because it's all about evolution. And I said it earlier tonight. The songwriting gets a little bit more mature, and just like how the music is represented behind her, given whatever it is. And there's actually been some really nice coupling with the last song, right? The music really matched the sullen, kind of sad loss of whatever, apparently. And this one, it's the same deal here. It's kind of carrying us through with the emotions of the lyrics. And in that sense, like, I'm kind of getting like some whiplash from this album, because it's like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? Now, not as much whiplash as like Red, because that was kind of like all over the place. Where maybe from like the majority of it, I think from like 1989, we get some more like consistent projects out of her as far as how they sound in their entirety. Lover was kind of like, whatever. It was like, hey, you know, do something. I feel like this is like a better Lover in a way. High Infidelity. Nice wordplay.
Lock broken, slur spoken, wound open, game token. I didn't know you were keeping count. Rain soaking, blind hoping. You said I was freeloading. I didn't know you were keeping count. High infidelity. Do I really have to chart the constellations in his eyes? Storm coming, good husband, bad omen. Dragged my feet right down the aisle. At the house, lonely, good money. I'd pay if you just know me. Do you really want to know where I was April 29th? Do I really have to tell you how he brought me back to life? High infidelity, put on your records and regret me. The slowest way is never loving them enough. High infidelity, put on your records and regret meeting me. I bent the truth too far tonight. I was dancing around it. High infidelity, lock broken, slur spoken, wound open, game token. I didn't know you were keeping count. Rain soaking, blind hoping. You said I was freeloading. I didn't know you were keeping count. But oh, you were keeping count.
So I feel like there's like a little bit more going on here that I'm just not necessarily getting right off the top, but to me it just seems like a poppier version of a song that should have been on Folklore or Evermore, just given infidelity, right? That being like such a strong theme in those albums. You know, fun enough, you know, they're doing the little doot-doots in the background. I get it. Getaway car, but it's midnights. That's actually a great way to put it, actually. It's too repetitive, low-key. That's what I'm like. I'm wondering if there's like very like specific references to things going on here. It's cheating, and my guy Aaron Dessner just works. I don't know. You need to know some lore to get this song, and it's unnecessarily to know about. Well, no, you know, like I'm saying, again, and I haven't talked about it too much, but it seems to be like a running theme of things that I bring up in these Taylor Swift reactions, which is like, you know, it might not mean a ton to me while I'm listening to it, but there's definitely a case in point for somebody to find these songs very relatable. And, you know, she's just got these repositories of like maybe breakup songs or infidelity songs, or, you know, we've been put down, but baby, we're getting back up. And I feel like you can just kind of add it to the list, kind of a deal. Don't really think you need to learn. It's a cheating song that humanizes the cheater. I mean, I don't cheat, maybe, you know, by all means, try to not do it. You know, look, if you're talking to me, I don't know how you can like forgive that shit outside of like maybe like, yeah, we were like certain we were going to die in that elevator and figured, let's just get this done and over with. And then you end up not dying, or, you know, if you're in like a foxhole or something and, you know, there's bombs going off and something or else, right? Then you go like, hey, you know, like when you get back, like, so here's what happened. I might go, okay, all right. I understand your predicament. Outside of those two examples, you can just say, hey, this ain't working. Because I'm like 2 steps away from doing something you're going to be really angry at anyway. And that's respectable. That's respectable even. Yeah, let's not normalize infidelity. That's what I'm saying. My goofy ass cannot listen to Taylor Swift. Glitch.
We were supposed to be just friends. You don't live in my part of town, but maybe I'll see you out some weekend. Depending on what kind of mood and situationship I'm in. Glitch. 5 seconds later, I'm fastening myself to you with a stitch. In search of glorious happenings of happenstance on someone else's playground. But it's been 2,190 days. I think there's been a glitch. 5 seconds later, it must be counterfeit. I think there's been a glitch.
Okay, I cannot believe that Taylor Swift dropped a lo-fi beat to chill/study to. She's the lo-fi study girl. That's what's going on here. Lo-fi, this is a little bit more experimental, I think. I'm liking this one quite a bit. This one rocks.
And that's romance. Let's dance. Glitch. 5 seconds later, I'm fastening myself to you on the stage.
The bass, not the bass at the end, not the tasty bass. That one was fun, short and sweet, absolutely. Loved every second of that. She needs to get more experimental. She, you know, and I know somebody said it, Taylor Swift fans want her to get experimental, but then they don't like her experimental songs. Fuck that. They're wrong. You're right. All right, the chat's saying that we got more John Mayer lore coming, so I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see here. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Calling back some themes earlier in the album too.
It matter if you got to wash your hands. All I used to do was pray. Now that I'm grown, I'm scared of ghosts. Memories feel like weapons. And now that I know, I wish you'd left me wondering. If you never touched me, I would've gone along with the righteous wouldn't. And then you tried to erase us. You're a crisis of my faith. Would've, could've, should've. Admits who I used to be, the tomb won't close. Stained glass windows in my mind. I regret you all the time. Birds, give me back my girl, but it was my first. And I damn sure never would've danced with the devil. Close, stained glass windows in my mind. I regret you all the time. I can't let this go. I fight with you in my sleep. The wound won't close. I keep on waiting for a sign. I regret you all the time.
God, who wants to listen to Red? Like all of Red right now. Come on now. Yeah, this one was good. And you know, she's still, you know, despite this evolution of Taylor Swift, she's still just the girl from Pennsylvania with such a big heart. You know, and she can't, you know, get some of these old foes out of her damn system. really like the more like religious faith-based approach of this one. Like a lot. You're a crisis of my faith. Holy fuck. Could you imagine getting called a crisis of someone's faith? And then obviously here, this is the big one here. Give me back my girlhood. It was mine first. Just absolute bars. And you know, that's one of the reasons, and I will probably at the end of the Tortured Poets Department reaction probably give my whole theory on what I've witnessed reacting to Taylor Swift songs. But, you know, I think this big pull is that, you know, she has this almost, at least for the longest time, this like diuretic. No, that's diuretic is what helps you pee. What's the word I'm looking for here? Diuristic? Diuretic helps you pee. Now, look, if Taylor Swift helps you pee, God bless. God bless. But to get back to my point, she writes in such a diaristic way, you know, it may kind of allude to the whole parasocial thing. Now, wherever you stand on that for good or bad, I'm not here to argue that. But it's definitely a pull to why people gravitate towards her and feel a connection towards her, especially since she can write about these things and get very vulnerable about these things that have really affected her after all of this time. And these things still affect her to such a great deal where they're a crisis of somebody's faith, where it's like, shit, like, is God going to help me the fuck out here? With saying like righteous and just, you know, you could say like God's honest truth is just like an idiom, but it just keeps coming back. The song, yeah, I really liked this one a lot. Dear Reader.
It's like a trap, you're already in one. Dear reader, get out your map, pick somewhere and just run. Never take advice from someone who's falling apart. Dear reader, bend when you can, snap when you have to. Never take advice from someone who's falling apart. Never take advice from someone who's falling apart.
Miley Cyrus on the track.
Through these nights I
Let me stew. Let me breathe. Yes. Yes. Very good. Brilliant production on this one. That production plus, like, you know, the second half of the song mainly being the, you know, vocal mods there. Can I just get an album of all that, please? I'm in such love with that idea. And it's crazy because I love the direction that Taylor went with Evermore and Folklore a lot. I think those are probably her strongest works to date. But with this, it's going hard-nosed. It's not even really hard-nosed in another direction. It's like, it's a little bit of everything that we've come to know so far and nailed down a little bit without maybe like a sense of like true direction. You know, I get it. You know, if the concept is like, you know, things you think about keep you up at night at 12 a.m., you know, those like midnight thoughts, those 3 a.m. thoughts here, you know, that could be like a little nebulous. Maybe you want something a little bit more hard-nosed and specific, I guess, if you're looking for an overarching concept or something like that. But this doesn't feel like just like a, you know, an absurd collection of songs or anything like that. And and they're just having a blast in the studio. And this is another one. And talk about diuretic, right? Not diuretic, unless it helps you. Then in that case, fantastic. But we just got done talking about maybe a more diuretic thing. And so we have Dear Reader here. So that's what it kind of reads off, honestly. So these next 3 songs will be the Till Dawn tracks. And we are going to go and do You're Losing Me. It's a little bit off pace. We usually don't listen to things off the record. But as we have already established, I am a himbo and don't know anything without the chat saying so. Or the YouTube comments, for that matter. I haven't forgotten about you guys either. You know what? I'm just a piece of man meat to you guys. Once I'm done with the Taylor Swift series, you guys are going to go, who's Jerry B? Do you guys watch his cringy videos? Hits different.
I washed my hands of ice at the club. You made a mess of me. Nothing has ever felt so wrong. Oh, my love is a lie. Shit my friends say to get me by. It hits different. It hits different this time. Catastrophic blues. Moving on was always easy for me to do. It hits different. It hits different 'cause it's you. Until someone puts me in a car, I stopped receiving invitations. Oh, my love is a lie. Should my friends say to get me by? The artifacts cried over. I had cursed the space that I needed. I traced the evidence, make it make some sense why the wound is still bleeding. Tentative, antithetical dream girl. Wait.
Early Taylor Swift, bubbly guitar pop, but she says shit and asshole this time. That's what this one is. I like this one. Holy hell. This is when you're up really late at night and you know that you're going to be tired for the rest of the day, but that adrenaline kicks in, you get all slap happy. That's what this one is, right? Sounds happy, but kind of sad. Nothing makes any sense. Yeah, this one was good. This one, I liked it a lot. As soon as it started with those opening chords, I'm like, this is going to be a guitar pop song. This is going to take me back to those first few albums there. But now it's more interesting because she says shit and asshole. That's it. The beginning song sounds like so high school to me. The beginning chord sounds like some like Disney movie or something. It's like Disney Channel coded, but it's like, I don't know what do Disney adults like to watch or listen to. It's about this, I guess. It's peak glitter pop. Yeah, no, for sure. You know, and it's cool that this is coming in, you know, the supplemental tracks, you know, because sonically it's very different from everything else. So I'll take it. I won't necessarily knock it for, you know, sounding so completely different than everything else here. It just hits different. That's all it is. So, okay, moving on. The last song before the remix. This is more featuring more Lana Del Rey. It's just Snow on the Beach too.
Feels like what I once on a screen. I searched Aurora Borealis green. I've never seen someone lit from within, blurring out my periphery. My smile, are we falling like snow at the beach? Weird but fucking beautiful, flying in a dream, stars by the pocketful.
So not a ton more to say on that than I hadn't heard before, except now we just got the sweet dulcet tones of Ms. Lana Del Rey, and I'm very, very excited to head into that discography. So if you are enjoying this, and you're going to love the Lana Del Rey stuff even more, because now I know what I'm doing at the beginning of the series. Go ahead and make sure that you follow us next week, because that's coming out next week. Karma, Ice Spice. It's a bop. Remix or not, this is a bop. Come on.
Aren't you envious that for you it's not? Sweet like honey, color is a cat, purring in my lap 'cause it loves me.
It's good shit, pal.
Karma is your checks bout to bounce. Karma is the fire in your house. And she bout to pop up unannounced. And she never leaving you alone. Watch her put your ops on a throne. Gotcha never gets lazy. So I keep my head up, my bread up, I won't let her. Promise that you never endeavor with none lesser. Ever, ever. I be dragging that wagon. Karma is a beauty, winning that pageant.
In my hair on the weekend. Karma's a relaxing thought.
It's good shit, pal.
Karma is my bestie.
See, that's great. That's fun.
Karma's a relaxing thought.
Karma's gonna hold you down.
See, that was fun. I think it's on the fact that I really like this song quite a bit. That Karma's my bestie is like, that's a good ad-lib. You know, and as far as like hip-hop features on Taylor Swift songs, this isn't as good as the Kendrick Lamar one, and it's not as good as the Future one maybe, but I still had a good time. You wanted more? I give you more. That's about what's going to happen here. It just made a bumpy little song just that much bumpier. That's all it did. You guys can calm the hell down. When you have this song on shuffle, keep it on. Look at me apologizing for Taylor Swift songs. Do you see how far we've come? We're over here trying to check out the evolution of Taylor Swift. In actuality, we're checking out the evolution of Jerry B's, right? This is a lesson. This is a lesson for you all. Okay, so normally I do not put up with listening to songs that are not on the album, but it has been drilled down my throat that I need to listen to this song. It is imperative that I listen. You guys make this seem like this is the most important Taylor Swift song of all time. That is how much it has been pumped up and celebrated in its importance. And it's got a hell of a lot of plays, so you know, maybe I am missing something here. Maybe I am. Apparently, this acts as kind of the bridge between this album and Tortured Poets Department, from what I've heard. Let's dig in. You're Losing Me from the Vault.
In time now, I fear it won't. Remember looking at this room, we loved it 'cause of the light. I can't find a pulse, my heart won't start anymore. For you, every morning I glared at you with storms in my eyes. How can you say that you love someone you can't tell is dying? Stop, you're losing me. Stop, you're losing me. My heart won't start anymore. For you, I'm fading, thinking, do something, babe, say something. Lose something, babe, risk something. You're losing me. Stop, stop, stop. You're losing me. Stop, stop, stop. You're losing me. I can't find a pulse. My heart won't start anymore.
So let me just read the intro here real quick. So, I mean, from the beginning, I'm gathering that, remember looking at this room, we loved it because of the light. I just sit here in the dark wondering if it's time. Do I throw everything we built? So obviously there's been a schism here. And maybe this is painting a picture of maybe an empty room. People are moving out, right? You know, it's like the writing's on the wall and one party knows that something's going on and the other doesn't. This is a very pretty sounding song, and I'm gathering that I'll connect the dots on maybe why this was so important once I listen to Tortured Poets Department. I get that. Why it was so important, it couldn't just be on the damn album, I don't know, but maybe I'll see. Maybe the universe will show me its eyes, and I'll be like Danny DeVito in that scene in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's crying at that dance performance and he goes,
Oh my God. I get it.
maybe that'll be me. It's a very pretty sounding song. She wrote it 18 months before they broke up. Okay, so then she recorded. Okay, then you said 18 minutes. And I was like, that's a quick turnaround time. Jesus Christ, they're fucking cooking in the booth. It's her own heartbeat on the song. Well, that's an interesting little production choice there. I enjoyed that, especially given what we got going on. So I will include that and keep that in mind while I give my final summation of Midnight's The Till Dawn edition from Taylor Swift. 2023, an hour and 20 minutes. Well, not including. You're losing me. I liked this one quite a bit, right? Do I like it as maybe some of the things I really liked on Folklore and Evermore? No, but I really appreciated what they did here. It called back some of the best parts of everything that kind of came before Folklore and Evermore, with songwriting that kind of fit right in, maybe outside of any overarching narratives or things like that. This is, I think I can go back to say that this is maybe Taylor's like coolest album, so to speak. Maybe you might say that 1989 and Reputation were more fun. I think there's a lot of fun to be had on this album, especially with the standard release. I thought the standard release of this was really strong. Maybe some of the tracks in the 3 a.m. tracks didn't hit me as much, but like Glitch. And Glitch, to just say that I love the way that they experimented on this album production-wise, but still kept it consistent the entire way through. I liked the vocal mods, 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 the vocal mods. Something in my brain goes off when I hear distorted Taylor Swift voice. I don't know what it is. And I know that this album was met with like some criticism. People are like, it's like whatever. It's fine. As a follow-up to what I thought were her strongest albums, just through and through, I thought this was great. We get to revisit the pop side of things, but not so pop in a way where it's just like, okay, this is party pop. It's not party pop. This is kind of thinky, feely pop, but in a way that I don't think would alienate the general public to any degree. And so she kind of cast this wide net in that regard. And then it's not so like you heard maybe, and I think this is just Jack Antonoff here, right? Maybe with the synths, you can call back to 1989 just because that was very heavy and that was so a little bit more derivative of sounds from the 80s, where I think this album could just be said that this was just the Taylor Swift sound, and really made it her own there. And this was, maybe not the longest album that we've reacted to time-wise, but you got to remember, I'm here doing this, trying to be entertaining for you all. Hour, 20 minutes worth of songs, I'm gabbing and jabberjawing in between that. We've been on stream for 3.5 hours at this point, and I don't feel as drained as I have through other albums. Now, maybe in the future I go ahead and say, well, that's because it didn't challenge me so much, but it doesn't need to challenge me. It can be exactly what it is. And what it is the ongoing evolution of the world's biggest pop star. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been at this for 10 albums now, across 2 calendar years. And the straight white male reacts to Taylor Swift series is soon to conclude. And maybe I'll give some overarching opinions on the discography as a whole at the end of Tortured Poets Department. But you'll have to be there for that. So that was my reaction to Taylor Swift's Midnights. Let me know your thoughts on my thoughts down in the comments below. Like I said, we kind of broke the rule here a little bit with You're Losing Me, but if there are any other Taylor Swift songs that are not on the Tortured Poets Department anthology or any of the other songs I may have missed in my other reactions, please fill out the Google form down below. You only get one entry, so make it count. If you're looking to supporting the channel, the easiest way to do that is to like this video and subscribe to like all of my videos as they come out. If you're looking to support the channel just a little bit more, make sure you check out my Patreon, where all past album reactions are $1. Also, do not forget to check out and thank our friends at Ground News. Click the link down in the description for 40% off the Vantage subscription. Not Ground Nudes. A lot of people have been calling it Ground Nudes. It is not Ground Nudes. Ground News. That's actually check.ground.news/JerryBees for 40% off the Vantage subscription. Okay? But with that said, I've been Jerry Bees. You've been awesome. Take it easy.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking.